Addison stood at the altar, her white dress feeling like a straitjacket, as the prison chaplain cleared his throat to begin the vows. But before a single word could escape, the chapel doors burst open, and her family stormed in like a hurricane. Her mother's face twisted in fury, screaming that this sham of a marriage to a convicted felon would destroy everything. In that frozen moment, Addison's heart shattered not from the interruption, but from the realization that the man behind bars was never her choice. Adeline was the woman she'd hidden for years, and now, with the world crumbling, she knew she'd marry her instead, no matter the cost. The chaos erupted instantly. Her father grabbed her arm, his grip ironclad, whispering harshly that they'd drag her out if needed, that marrying Derek, the inmate she'd met through some misguided prison pen pal program, was a disgrace to their conservative Texas roots. Addison's mind raced back to how it all started. The pressure to settle down, to fit the mold of the perfect daughter in their affluent Dallas suburb, where church on Sundays and heterosexual bliss were non-negotiable. She'd convinced herself that Derek, serving time for embezzlement, was a safe bet, a distant husband who couldn't demand too much, leaving room for her true desires in the shadows. But as her family hauled her away, tears streaming down her face, she thought, why did I ever think this would work? Adeline's touch, her voice, those are the only things that make me feel alive. I've betrayed myself for their approval, and now it's all exploding. Back home that evening, the house felt like a courtroom. Her parents paced the living room, her mother clutching a Bible like a weapon, ranting about how Addison's phase had led to this insanity. You're throwing your life away on a criminal just to rebel, her mother shouted, oblivious to the deeper truth. Addison sat on the couch, knees drawn up, her inner voice screaming, rebel? This isn't rebellion, it's survival. If they knew about Adeline, the artist from the coffee shop downtown, the one who makes my heart race with a single smile, they'd disown me faster than they stopped that wedding. Her brother Jake, the golden child with his perfect wife and kids, chimed in with condescending advice. Addie, we love you. Come back to church. Find a nice guy. This Derek thing, it's a cry for help. She wanted to laugh bitterly, to tell them the cry was for freedom, but instead, she nodded numbly, plotting her escape. That night, alone in her childhood bedroom, Addison pulled out her phone and texted Adeline. It's over. They stopped it. I need you. Adeline's reply came swiftly. I'm here. Always. They'd met 2 years ago at a local art gallery opening, where Adeline's paintings of swirling emotions had drawn Addison in like a moth to flame. One conversation led to coffee, then secret dates, stolen kisses, and hidden parks. Adeline, with her wild curly hair and unapologetic spirit, had awakened something in Addison that her family had tried to bury. How can love like this be wrong? Addison pondered, staring at the ceiling. Society preaches acceptance, but in my world, it's still a sin. If I choose her, I lose them. But without her, I lose myself. The weight of that choice pressed down, making sleep impossible. The next morning, Addison drove to Adeline's apartment in the artsy district of Deep Ellum, her hands trembling on the wheel. Adeline opened the door, pulling her into a fierce hug, and for the first time in hours, Addison breathed freely. Tell me everything, Adeline said, leading her to the couch cluttered with sketchbooks. As Addison recounted the wedding fiasco, Adeline's eyes widened. You were really going to marry him? For what? To please them? Her voice held hurt, not judgment. Addison's chest tightened. She's right. I was a coward using Derek as a shield. But now exposed, I have to decide. Conform or fight. They talked for hours, Adeline sharing her own story of coming out in college, losing friends but gaining authenticity. It's not easy, she admitted. But pretending is torture. Addison nodded, her resolve hardening. By afternoon, she knew she couldn't go back. Yet doubt crept in as she returned home. Her parents had called a family meeting, inviting the pastor, who droned on about redemption and traditional values. Addison, God has a plan for you, a husband, children, he said solemnly. Her mother nodded vigorously, tears in her eyes. We just want what's best. Inside, Addison raged. Best for who? For your image at the country club? I've felt more joy with Adeline in one day than in years of your plan. But saying it aloud would shatter them and me. She feigned agreement, buying time, but the deception gnawed at her soul. That evening, sneaking out to meet Adeline again, she confessed her fears. What if they're right? What if this ruins everything? Adeline held her face gently. Love doesn't ruin, it rebuilds. Their kiss sealed a pact, but Addison wondered if she could pay the price. Days blurred into a tense standoff. Addison avoided home, crashing at Adeline's where they dreamed of a future together. Maybe eloping to California, where acceptance flowed freer. But reality intruded when Jake showed up at Adeline's door, his face stormy. Who is she? He demanded, pushing past Addison. The confrontation exploded. Jake accused Adeline of corrupting his sister, spewing slurs that cut deep. Addison defended her fiercely, but inside, he's my brother. How can he hate what I am? This is the society we live in. Love twisted into perversion. Adeline stood strong, but the damage was done. That night, alone with her thoughts, Addison questioned everything. Is fighting worth the heartbreak? Or should I walk away to spare us all? The pressure mounted as rumors spread through their tight-knit community. Friends distanced themselves, whispers of that lesbian phase, echoing in Addison's ears. Her job at the marketing firm suffered. Colleagues eyed her suspiciously after her mother confided in a coworker. Why can't they see me as I am? She thought bitterly. Adeline suggested therapy, but Addison resisted, fearing more judgment. Instead, they clung to each other, their bond a lifeline amid the storm. Yet betrayal loomed when Addison's best friend, Sarah, confronted her. I can't support this. It's against everything we believe. The loss stung, forcing Addison to confront her isolation. Each choice strips away a piece of my old life. Is Adeline worth it? God, yes, but the pain is excruciating. As the week ended, a pivotal moment arrived. Her parents issued an ultimatum. Cut ties with that influence or leave forever. Addison's heart pounded as she packed a bag, tears blurring her vision. This is it, the point of no return. I'm choosing love over blood, but what if it's a mistake? Driving to Adeline's, she felt a mix of terror and exhilaration. The future was uncertain, but for the first time, it was hers. Adeline paced her small apartment, the walls closing in as Addison unpacked her suitcase in the bedroom. The decision to move in felt like a victory, but the shadows of doubt lingered in Adeline's mind. She's here, but at what cost? Her family's rejection is fresh. Will she resent me for it someday? Adeline had always been the bold one, out and proud since her teens in liberal Austin. But loving Addison meant navigating a minefield of conservative backlash she hadn't fully anticipated. That first night together as a committed couple was bittersweet. They cooked dinner, simple pasta, nothing fancy, but the air crackled with unspoken fears. Do you regret it? Adeline asked softly, stirring the sauce. Addison paused, fork midway to her mouth. Regret you? Never. But them. It hurts more than I expected. Adeline nodded, her own inner turmoil bubbling. I pushed her to choose, but was it selfish? She's sacrificing everything. I have to make sure it's worth it. They talked late into the night, sharing dreams of a quiet wedding, perhaps in a seaside chapel far from Dallas's prying eyes. But peace was short-lived. The next day, Addison's phone buzzed incessantly with messages from her mother. Pleas, then threats, finally silence that screamed louder than words. At work, Adeline faced her own demons when her gallery boss pulled her aside. Heard about your situation. Clients are traditional. Might affect sales. Adeline's stomach dropped. Art is my lifeblood, but love is my heart. Do I tone it down, hide us? No, that's what they want. She refused, but the seed of insecurity planted itself deep. Tensions escalated when Jake ambushed them at a coffee shop. Addie, come home. Mom's a wreck, he begged, ignoring Adeline. Addison stood firm. This is my home now, but inside his pain mirrors mine. We're tearing the family apart. Is my happiness worth their suffering? Adeline watched, her resolve cracking. He's poisoning her mind. What if she wavers? The argument turned ugly, Jake accusing Adeline of manipulation. You're using her confusion, he spat. Adeline fired back. Love isn't confusion, your bigotry is. But later, alone, she wondered if there was truth in his words. As weeks passed, societal pressures mounted. At a neighborhood event Adeline dragged Addison to for normalcy, stares and whispers followed them. An old acquaintance approached. So you're together? Brave in this town. The condescension burned. Addison squeezed Adeline's hand but thought, brave or foolish? Every eye judges us, questions our right to exist. Adeline felt it too. I've faced this before, but with her it's amplified. Am I strong enough for both of us? A betrayal hit hard when Sarah, Addison's ex-friend, leaked their story on social media. Comments flooded in. Supportive from strangers, vicious from locals. Disgusting, one read. Against God's will. Addison scrolled obsessively, her confidence eroding. Maybe we should lay low, she suggested. Adeline agreed reluctantly but inwardly fumed. Hiding again? That's regression. But for her peace, I'll do it. Their intimacy suffered. Touches became tentative, conversations guarded. The moral quandary deepened during a therapy session Adeline insisted on. The counselor probed. What values are you compromising? Addison admitted. Family loyalty for personal truth. Adeline added. Freedom for security. Driving home, Adeline reflected. We're both paying prices, her family, my career. Is this fair? Love should elevate, not diminish. That night, a fight erupted over trivialities, masking deeper fears. You don't understand. Addison yelled. I do, Adeline countered. But we can't let them win. Reconciliation attempts failed spectacularly. Addison met her parents at a neutral diner, hoping for understanding. Her father stonewalled. Choose, us or sin. Her mother wept. We raised you better. Addison left shattered, thinking better for what? Their narrow world? I've tasted real love. I can't unknow it. Adeline comforted her, but her own doubts grew. If they disown her, she'll blame me eventually. Am I the villain here? Work became a battleground. Addison's boss demoted her subtly, citing distractions. Adeline lost a commission to a more relatable artist. Society's punishing us for existing, Adeline thought bitterly. They considered moving but roots held them. A turning point came when Adeline's estranged aunt reached out, offering support. I hid my truth. Don't repeat my mistake. It bolstered them, but the damage lingered. As the month closed, a dramatic confrontation loomed. Jake showed up with an intervention group, friends, pastor, all pleading for Addison's salvation. Adeline stood by her side as accusations flew. You're brainwashing her, one cried. Addison exploded. No, you're blinding me. But in the aftermath, exhaustion hit. How much more can we take? Adeline wondered, holding Addison as she sobbed. The price of their love was mounting, testing every fiber of their beings. The strain began to fracture their bond in subtle ways. Adeline woke to find Addison staring out the window, lost in thought, her eyes distant. Penny for them? Adeline asked, but Addison shook her head. Just missing the old normal. Adeline's heart sank. Normal without me? Am I the disruption? She pushed the fear down, focusing on building their life. But the undercurrent of resentment simmered. A job offer came for Adeline. A gallery position in New York, promising exposure and acceptance. This could be our fresh start, she said excitedly. Addison hesitated. Leave everything? My job, the city. Inside it's tempting, but running feels like defeat. And what if distance from family heals nothing? They argued. Adeline accusing her of clinging to the past. Addison retorting that Adeline was insensitive. We're turning on each other, Adeline realized. The world's pressure is poisoning us. Family ties tugged harder. Addison's mother fell ill, stress-induced, the doctor said, and Jake blamed her. Your choices did this. Guilt consumed Addison. Am I responsible? If I go back, pretend maybe she'll recover. She visited the hospital secretly, her mother whispering, Come home, baby. The pull was visceral. Adeline sensed the shift. Don't let them manipulate you. But Addison snapped. It's my mom. The rift widened. Societal backlash intensified with a local news story twisting their tale. Dallas woman abandons family for controversial lifestyle. Comments vilified them. Adeline's art sales plummeted. Clients canceled. My passion tainted by love, she thought mournfully. Addison faced harassment at work. A coworker sneering. Freak show. Her confidence shattered. Is this the life I chose? Constant battle? A moral crossroads arrived when Addison considered reaching out to Derek, the inmate, for closure. He deserves to know why, she said. Adeline exploded. Why dredge that up? It was a lie. But Addison went anyway via video call from prison. Derek was understanding, but his words haunted. You used me to hide. That's not fair. Guilt doubled. I hurt him too. My deceptions have ripples. Betrayal struck from within when Adeline confided in a friend, who then gossiped to Jake. He used it to fuel more attacks, showing up with evidence of Adeline's past flings. She's not committed, he claimed. Addison doubted briefly. Is she? We've moved fast. Adeline defended herself tearfully. That was before you. Trust frayed. Therapy sessions turned raw. You're both traumatized, the counselor said. Addison admitted her internal war. I love her, but the cost. Family, friends, stability. Adeline confessed. I fear losing her to their pull. Driving home, silence reigned. Can we survive this? Adeline pondered. A high-stakes decision loomed. Attend a family wedding or boycott. Addison wanted to go to prove normalcy. Adeline refused. They'll ambush us. Compromise failed and Addison went alone. There, relatives cornered her. End this nonsense. Temptation flickered. One apology and it's over. But without Adeline, what's left? She left early, reaffirming her choice, but the exhaustion mounted. Adeline, meanwhile, faced her own temptation. A flirtatious client offering escape. She rebuffed but thought, if Addison wavers, maybe I should too. Loyalty won but resentment brewed. The climax built as Addison's mother recovered and demanded a meeting. Choose once and for all, she said. Addison agonized. Blood or love? Right or wrong? Adeline supported. I'll stand by you. But inside, if she chooses them, I'm done. In the end, Addison chose love, but the victory felt hollow. We've won a battle, but the war rages. They planned their elopement, but shadows of doubt persisted. With the elopement set for a quiet Vegas chapel, adrenaline coursed through Adeline as she packed. But Addison's hesitance showed in small ways. Delayed responses forced smiles. She's committing, but her heart's divided, Adeline thought. Have I pushed too hard? The drive to the airport was tense, conversations stilted. En route, Addison's phone rang. Jake pleading one last time. Mom's heartbroken. Rethink this. She hung up, but tears fell. His voice echoes my guilt. Am I selfish for pursuing happiness? Adeline comforted her. We're building our family. But doubt nagged. Is this rushed? Society says wait, maybe they're right. In Vegas, the neon lights mocked their turmoil. At the chapel, a cheerful officiant chatted, oblivious. As vows approached, Addison froze. What if this destroys us? Adeline's pulse raced. Second thoughts now? After everything? They stepped outside, arguing in the heat. I love you, but the pressure. Addison confessed. Adeline exploded. Then why are we here? Inner voices clashed. She's scared, be patient. But I've sacrificed too. A compromise. Postpone, reflect. Back in the hotel, they dissected their relationship. Addison admitted lingering family ties. Adeline confessed career fears. We're raw, exposed, Adeline reflected. Love demands honesty, even painful. Returning to Dallas felt like defeat. Rumors swirled. They chickened out. Jake gloated via text. Addison ignored but thought maybe he's right, we're not ready. Adeline threw herself into art, painting turbulent emotions. A new conflict arose when Addison's boss offered a promotion. If she stabilized her life. Implying what? She fumed. Adeline urged resistance. Don't compromise. But Addison considered, stability for us? Or selling out? Betrayal reared again. Adeline's ex contacted her, offering sympathy. Tempted by familiarity, she met for coffee. Innocent, but Addison found out. How could you? She accused. Adeline apologized. It was nothing. But trust cracked further. My weakness hurts her, Adeline lamented. Therapy intensified, uncovering deeper issues. Addison's internalized homophobia surfaced. Part of me believes it's wrong. Adeline's impatience showed. Fight it. Progress was slow, painful. Societal awakening came via a support group. Stories of others' struggles resonated. Addison shared. I lost my family. Responses varied, some empathized, others judged. Am I the hero or the fool? She wondered. As tensions peaked, a family crisis hit. Addison's father had a heart scare. She rushed to the hospital, Adeline waiting outside. Inside, reconciliation whispers, "We miss you." Torn Addison thought one step back could mend, but forward is freedom. She chose forward, but the emotional toll was immense. Adeline greeted her with relief but sensed the pull. Will she ever fully let go? Planning resumed but scaled down. A backyard ceremony with allies. Invites went out, responses mixed. Sarah apologized attending. Jake boycotted. The day arrived, nerves frayed. As they exchanged rings, joy mixed with sorrow. This is our triumph, Adeline thought. But aftermath brought reality. Disinheritance confirmed. The marriage certificate in hand felt like armor. But the battles continued. Addison stared at it, thinking, we're official, but does paper change hearts? Adeline echoed the sentiment. Society may recognize us, but our scars run deep. They honeymooned briefly in California, basking in acceptance, but returning to Dallas reignited the fire. Family silence turned to outright hostility. Her parents changed the locks, donated her belongings. Jake spread lies. She's unstable. Addison grieved. They raised me, now I'm erased. Was love worth this erasure? Adeline consoled, but her own career stalled. Galleries shunned her controversial themes. A public confrontation at a community event exploded. Her mother approached. You've shamed us. Addison retorted. You've shamed love. Words flew, drawing crowds. Adeline pulled her away, but damage done. Public humiliation, the ultimate price, Adeline thought. Moral reflections deepened. Addison journaled. Did I betray my roots for desire? Or honor my truth? Adeline questioned. Am I the catalyst for her pain? They leaned on each other, forging strength from weakness. Awakening came slowly. Supportive friends emerged. A cousin came out, inspired. Addison mentored her. Choose wisely, the cost is high. But joy crept in, quiet dinners, shared dreams. Yet a final betrayal. Jake sued for family assets, claiming emotional duress. The court battle drained them. Addison testified tearfully. Love isn't a crime. Adeline supported. We're fighting for us. Victory came, but hollow relations severed forever. In quiet moments, Addison pondered. Healing or hardening? We've paid dearly. Years blurred, but the core remained. Their love tempered by fire. They built a life. Adopted a dog, hosted gatherings for outcasts. Addison's career rebounded in a progressive firm. Adeline's art gained acclaim for its raw honesty. Looking back, the choices haunted. Right or wrong? They often debated. In the end, as they sat on their porch, hands entwined, Addison whispered. No regrets. Adeline smiled. None. But was sacrificing family for personal love truly the right path? Or a selfish indulgence that shattered unbreakable bonds?